Hi everyone. I'm going to probably do some videos on dreams and dream interpretation. Um, those videos are going to be based off of Artemidorus's book Dream Interpretation. So this is like one of I think this is the only book that exists from antiquity on dream interpretation from the ancient world, like a text that is completely on dream interpretation from a legit dream interpreter. I'm there might be other fragments and other works, but the one that I know off the top of my head that's like a complete work that exists from antiquity is this one. Artemidorus is the author. I'll put a link below. You can buy this. It's this big. It talks about all sorts of dreams, what you see, what they mean. It's fantastic. I think this is like something that no one ever really talks about. Like when we talk about things we should be reading, everyone always, this book, that book, this text, this. No one ever really talks about dream interpretations, and this is amazing. We're gonna talk more about this book specifically in another video, and things that you'll find in here, like certain things, the goodies. We're gonna talk about the goodies in this book. But what I want to do in this video is really talk about the importance of dreams. Because for me, my spirituality, my experiences, so a lot of people like to talk about experiences with gods, or your experiences with spirits, or your religious experiences. And I really don't have experiences in, let's say, the waking world. Like when I'm awake, I don't have religious experience. I don't have experiences with gods, or those things. It doesn't really work like that. I don't see that as if you're not engaging in ritual, if you're not actually like engaging in worship and not like in your actual sort of meditation, I want to say, if you're not really in deep ritual, I don't really look at things that happen to me during the day as signs from the gods, unless there's something that's really dramatic where it's associated with the gods, like a sign, a symbol. We can get into that later, but a lot of my experiences, they all occur in the dream world. God visitations, they happen in the dream world. They will make an appearance. I like to call them visitations. So it is a visitation, a manifestation, theophany, theophany. I'll go with a theophany in your sleep. And the way they always work with me in this regard is that most of the time it's a brief encounter. They don't talk, they show themselves. And when I see them and encounter them in sleep, I wake up in a shock. So usually that's how that goes. It's always like this, like they're there, and it shocks me, and I wake up, and that's how I know it's a visitation. Because every time I have a visitation dream, I wake up in shock, because their presence is supposed to be shocking. Now I really don't think it is the gods themselves that come to your dreams. I think it is their image is sent to you in your sleep on behalf of the god. So if you see Zeus in your dreams, it's not actually Zeus coming to see you. It is it's a good spirit sent by Zeus to you to take his form. Because I just don't think the gods, they are too powerful. They are too immense for them to actually have that sort of contact with you. That's just my view. As I'll read Artemidorus a little bit more, see what he says, because he does talk about the gods when they come to you in your sleep, and I haven't seen him say anything about if the gods show themselves in your sleep, if it's really them. He never actually says like, oh, that is really the god. He always says if you see a god. So don't assume that seeing a god, it means you actually saw the god actually came to you. Don't confuse those things. Separate the god and the symbol. I'm going to now talk about the power of your dreams, what they will tell you, or why it's important to focus on your dreams, and how powerful the gods can be. You know, I want to record this video as sort of testimony to my experience. So for many years, I have had a recurring type of dream, many years, where someone is trying to break into my home. And this sort of dream occurs in different ways, but it's always home invasion. That's the theme. The theme of the dream is home invasion. And the way this manifests in many different ways. I've had one of the popular ones is, I'm in the home and I hear the front door open. And it's always the front door. It's never any of the other doors in the house. It's always the front door. Never windows, never the other doors. It's always the front door they're trying to come into. And lots of times it's where I hear the door open and I have to run and slam the door shut to keep it from coming in. Other times, they've tried to, I say they because I think it's something. I think it's a malevolent spirit. I think it's a thing that wants either in my home, so in the dream, the house represents actually my house, and something wants into the house, or it's something that wants, into me, body possession. I really don't know. I don't subscribe to the body possession sort of thing. It might be an attachment to my body where it wants to kind of link and it hangs around me. But either case, it wants to come into the home, be in the home, or attach itself to my body and kind of like bombard me. Because the interesting thing is, every time I talk to my friends, we talk about, is your house haunted? We talk about haunted houses and things, and everyone always talks about things that happen in their houses. And I'm just like, nothing has ever happened to my house. For the amount of time, my whole life, nothing's happened. Nothing's happened in a house where I've been in. And I always wonder, is wherever I am, is it protected naturally for some reason? Nothing ever happens. No ghosts, no nothing. That reminds me, though, I used to do ghost hunting. And I think this is testimony to how well protected the house is. I remember I did ghost hunting years ago, and after I did a ghost hunting thing, when I came home, I dreamt of something at the window. And it was weird, either I was sleeping or I was half awake, half asleep, but I looked at the window, and there was this ghost, pale white figure with almost like the Ring, sort of Samara or whatever type of deal, and it was just looking at me like that. And I woke up and then I never saw anything after that. But it was outside the house, looking in the window. And I'm like, bitch, you ain't getting in. You know what I mean? It was just, and I never saw it again. So it was just it left because it never got in. But back anyway, home invasion. I always get home invasion dreams. And one of the freaky ones was where, there's a knock at the door or whatever, or I go to the door and I'm looking through the peephole, and it's my mother out on the front door and saying, "Oh, open the door so I can come in." And I'm just like, no. And then I see from the side, coming out of my view, peripheral view from the peephole, a gun coming to her head, and it's ready to blow her brains out. And I woke up and I was just like, oh my god, that whatever the fuck wants in is trying to trick me, by scaring me into thinking my mother's life was in danger in my dream. So then I would open the door to let her in and let it in too. It's really fucking tricky. This fucking thing has been really fucking tricky all these years. And when I say years, I would say maybe 5 to 10 years I've had these dreams. And as I really got deeper into my Hellenic practice, my Greek practice, the Greek tradition, worshipping the gods and um, doing ritual and worship and study and trying to really progress my life this way, those sort of dream invasions, it's gotten a little bit more intense, which I think is a sign that it is a malevolent spirit. It's a what we have in the tradition. The word demon in English comes from the Greek demon, and a demon is just a spirit. It doesn't have a negative connotation or a good connotation. It's just spirit. The Christians and stuff, they really took that and made it into demon as like, oh, it's evil, But in Greek, demon is just a spirit. When it's a bad spirit, it's a kakodemon. Kako is bad, and demon, spirit. So bad spirit, kakodemon, bad spirit. I think so I would call this a kakodemon trying to get into the house or trying to attach itself to me. And that I am progressing, I am doing well, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it wants to fuck with my life. It wants to, and it got really bad, these dreams. And also, if you're in a state of anxiety and stress, and the world is really bothering you, you might see this in your dreams these sorts of dreams will be intensified, because if there's a negative spirit trying to attach itself to you, it's going to try and take advantage of your stress as try to leverage that as weakness for you. Like, you're weak, so let me go and get into the house. Let me go and attach myself to this person who's stressed and weak. And I remember during this past summer, when things were so stressful, with events with me and the pagans, because I've been battling people online, certain pagans, and their bad behavior, and attacking me, and I don't want to get into all of it, but there's a lot of beef. And so when I was very stressed this summer over those things, and I had the worst. It got really bad, this dream, the home invasion dream got really bad. I was in the house, and I was looking out the front window. I saw 2 children walking up to the house. And the front door was open, the storm door was closed, and they had the glass. And I went and I looked, and there was these 2 children. They were very creepy. They presented themselves as siblings, but they didn't look related. They looked very different, physically appearance. They physically looked very different, and I think their eyes, there was something with their eyes. But they said, "We're hungry. Can you feed us?" Okay, so, I go to the kitchen, and I take a banana from the counter, and I was gonna go feed these children, but when I got to the door, they disappeared, and in their place appeared a very tall male figure, and he said, "I'm their father, let me in." And he started trying to come into the house, and at that point I shut the door, and then I woke up. It was really scary. It really freaked me out. And his eyes, I remember his eyes were yellow. They were yellowy. It kind of reminds me of, if you know Supernatural, Yellow Eyes and the TV show Supernatural, that demon. It kind of reminded me of that. So all this stress going on in my waking life, and then I had this motherfucker, whatever the fuck it is, trying to trick me with, like, kids, starving children, trying to be like, "Oh, we're hungry, feed me." And he comes in. So it's just like, it was really weird. I really, really felt under attack. Then that night, I think it was that night or the night after, I think it was that night. So the night after I had the dream, I was driving at night, and I wonder if I think it was stormy a little bit. It was like a dark, stormy kind of summer night. And I'm driving, and I'm just like so frustrated. And at that point, I was just, talking out loud, and I say, "Zeus, I need your help." I pray to Zeus. Zeus is like the main god I really worship. And I pray to Zeus, and I say, "Zeus, I need your help. Please send me help. I am under attack. I need your help. Please help me. I need protection." So I did that. I said this prayer. I asked for help. I asked for protection. It was raw. It was honest. It was a plea for help, divine help. I'm like, I need divine help with this. This whatever is there, whatever is trying to harm me, or I need help. And so that night when I went to sleep, I'm in the house again, and I'm getting chills. Remembering this. I'm in the house, and now I hear a party outside. And I'm like, what's going on outside? I go upstairs now to the second floor to one of the bedrooms. I look out the bedroom window. This is one of the rare times I'm upstairs on the second floor now, looking out a window. There's a few times this has happened. And usually there's always a threat outside. There's never anything good happening outside when I'm looking outside the house. There's always something wrong. But this time, I heard a party. I heard, something fun happening outside. I look outside and there's like a festival going on, a party, like something that I would have seen in Greece, like a summer party. People are out there dancing, having fun. And then I look to my right, and there, sitting on the windowsill, is a youth, a beautiful male youth, that you might, and one of those statues you might see that's like a youth, like just like beautiful, smooth, just like, and I look, and he's like, hi, he's like, may I come in? And I opened the window and let him in. I knew that whatever this was, it was a good spirit. It was something benevolent. There was nothing. I knew it was good, and it was interesting because it wasn't the front door. It was the window. It was the upstairs window. And I let him in, and he stood there, and I woke up. So I was just like, wow. I wondered if this was my answer. Like Zeus sent to me something to help. And then the next night when I went to sleep, there was something again going on outside the door. outside the house. There was something going outside. It felt like I don't know, whatever it was, but now there were cops outside arresting something, and there was more like a patrol feeling of like cops, or a cop car was there, and there was like, because I think something was trying to get in again, but there was something going outside where there was a threat, and there were cops there, and the cops caught the thing, and on my door now, when I was on the inside of my house, looking at the front door, looking outside, trying to see what happens. Now, what do I see on my side, on the inside of the house, of the door? Guns. I see guns. There's like guns, and I'm like, oh my god, where do these guns come from? So I'm just like, and I wake up. So, these series of events, the evil spirit, the children trying to break in, the next night with the good spirit after I prayed for help from Zeus. The spirit came. It was good. It asked to come in. I let it in. I trusted it. And then the next night, there was now a presence outside the house of protection, patrol, cops, officers. It's using symbols that we associate today. With quote unquote protection. Law enforcement will say, like that, arrest the bad guy. The archetype of what they're supposed to be, what the cops are supposed to be. Archetypally speaking, they're supposed to catch the bad guys. Except all they really do is write tickets and stuff. But anyway, my subconscious used that as the representation for me in my sleeping dream world of, this is protected. We are really on patrol now. We are catching the bad shit. And your home has you've been armed yourself as well. Like on your door now, you have weaponry. So, we got it, and you are also protected. You have also the tools necessary to protect yourself in the dream world. And ever since then, this was probably like June or July, I think. This was summer. Ever since then, never had a dream again like that. Never had a home invasion dream. Never had any sort of like someone trying to open the door, break in, no threats, nothing demonic feeling outside, like none of that. It's been since June, July. So, who knows what's going to happen? And, these things can happen, it could take months, between those sorts of similar dreams. But ever since then, nothing's happened. And all I can say is the gods. The gods really helped me with that, on that level of reality, that level of existence and experience, the gods stepped in and helped and got rid of whatever bad thing was there and sent something for extra protection. So I'm really grateful. I'm always grateful. I give many thanks to the gods for that, especially Zeus, since I pray to Zeus. And, it's one of the reasons why I think I have so many Zeus statues is because I'm very pulled towards Zeus. I actually recently got a new statue. This one, I actually want to show this to you all. This one came from Greece recently. This is Zeus Ammon. So this is the syncretic god from Egypt of Zeus and Ammon-Ra. If it's not just Ammon, I think the Egyptians also syncretized Ammon and Ra, and it's Ammon-Ra. So excuse me for my ignorance with Egyptian gods, but this is the syncretized Ammon-Zeus. And at the bottom it just says in Greek, I dedicated him. So this is Ammon-Zeus. I just want to show you a little bit. You see he has the horns, because that's the symbol for Ammon-Zeus. And he has the wreath, he's got golden hair. He's a little pale for my tastes. Like he's, if you can see on my giant Zeus over here, I painted his body bronze. This one's a little too pale for me. I think he looks a little sickly. But, it's all good. I'll take that back. Not sickly. That's a bad word. He looks like he's been quarantined for a year inside the house and hasn't gone out in the sun. We'll say that. But other than that, I've been wanting this Zeus for such a long time. Ammon-Zeus. It's ceramic. This is ceramic. Handmade. And I'm just wanted to share this, so this is my experience with the gods, my experience with, Zeus, dream stuff, and I'm going to make some other videos talking about dreams from Artemidorus. So stick around, and I hope you enjoyed this experience, this dream experience that I shared with you. All right, everyone, take care.